Hey, what's going on, everybody? We are back with yet another video. You saw what me looking down. That's gonna be a normal thing. I'm gonna look at my phone because that's how I have all my predictions on here. We're doing something different this time. Um, Last time I did like predictions on the channel about like NFL teams. I was doing it kind of like team by team, and I never got all the way to the finish to all that. So I've decided that I'm gonna try something different this year. We're gonna do it division by division. I'm going to do my best to explain, but I'm not going to explain it well, to be completely honest with you. These are just my guesses. If you don't believe that they're correct, feel free to tell me. Feel free to tell me that they suck, because I can understand that. I can agree with that. If of course, if you do like the content that we are putting out lately, please leave a like, please leave a comment, please leave a subscribe. I would very much appreciate it. I'd love to have you here. Join me and all that stuff. I think that's somebody else's slogan, so Okay. Starting off with the NFC South, there are four teams here that honestly their schedule looks really, really rough on paper, and I don't know how I feel about it. I think how we're gonna do this, we're gonna quickly talk about teams real quick. We're gonna try to do key additions, key departures, and then at the end I will post what I think the record will be at the end. I want you to, see my analysis, see my thinking. We'll probably do like a floor, ceiling, and actual prediction, something like that. But I guess without further ado, I should probably shut up and just get into it, right? Let's do it. Starting off with the Carolina Panthers, right? Carolina Panthers, they won their division last year on, I think, the Falcons beating the Saints in the last game of the year, which was a really interesting way to win. Tampa, they weren't very good. Uh, New Orleans was just okay, and Atlanta was also just okay. But all four of those teams ended up being okay. Like, not bad at all, to be completely honest with you. So, we're going to kind of see how that goes at this point, right? Carolina Panthers, week one, they play the Chicago Bears at home. I'm going to give them a loss there. I think Chicago will be just a little bit better this year. Week two at Atlanta, I gave them the win here. I think that they will sweep Atlanta this year. I do, and the thing is with Atlanta is I'm probably underselling how good this team could actually be, but I don't love the coaching hire. I don't really love the quarterback situation. But to be honest with you, there weren't really a lot of quarterbacks in out right that you could really go after. So Tua was probably the best option. If he's the starter, I think I have a little bit more confidence in Penix, but I'm not 100% sure there. Week three, they're on the road to Cleveland. I believe they will get the win there. If Cleveland does end up starting Deshaun Watson, I think that that team is going to be in a real bad shape. If they start Shador, I think they have a better chance, but we'll see where they go from there. Week four, I actually gave them the win on with the Lions at home. I do think they'll win the Battle of Kitties round one. Detroit, man, I don't really know what to think of them right now. They're kind of going to be hit or miss more than likely. Week six, they're going to be on the road to the Philadelphia Eagles. I have them taking a W here. Oh wait, no, the Eagles. Eagles, sorry. The Eagles they're going to take a loss to the Eagles. They're going to take it out. Tell me to shut up. Week seven, at home to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay is a team I just don't have a lot of faith in at all, to be honest with you. I'm going to have Carolina take that win here, especially at home. I think that they will absolutely beat them at home. They're starting off their score like 4-2. They're going to go on a little bit of a down trend here, in my personal thoughts, because week eight they're on the road to Green Bay. I have Green Bay winning that. On the They're at home to Denver in week nine. Denver, I think, is going to be a really, really good team, so I'm going to give Denver the win there. Week 10 at the New Orleans Saints. They have a real problem with beating the Saints, and I don't think that'll change in the Superdome. Week 11 at home to the Baltimore Ravens. I think they're going to take a loss there. I think Baltimore should be a lot better this year, but I guess we'll see how that goes. Week 12 at Tampa. I think they're going to take a loss. So obviously their record really does not look good here. They're like 4-7. I think this is where they're going to start piling off wins, though. I think they're going to beat the Vikings on the road. I think they beat New Orleans at home. They beat Cincinnati at home. They'll beat Pittsburgh on the road. Now, week 17, they're going to take a loss to the Seattle Seahawks. But week 18, they will beat Atlanta at home. They're going to sweep them to go 9-8. Hey, phone reveal. But regardless, yeah, I think it's a 9-8 team. I think that their ceiling is probably a 10 or 11 win. I do believe their floor could be pretty rough. I think when I originally looked at it, my first thought was probably 8 and 9. So I think that that's probably a fair prediction. But I think 9 and 8 is perfect for them. There's a couple games on here that I definitely think that they could definitely take. I don't know if you beat Green Bay. Green Bay might not be as good as I think. Chicago might not be as good as we think. Of course, week one jitters. You never know what's going to happen there. They could definitely sweep Tampa. Yeah, and they could even sweep New Orleans. You just never know. But yeah, I think I'm gonna give them a 9 and 8 record there. All right, so now we have the Atlanta Falcons. Okay, so I've already kind of talked a little bit about Atlanta there for a second. I think their defense should be better this year, but I just do not know how I feel about that team as a whole on the offensive side. I don't think they made a lot of massive improvements. In fact, Brian Robinson switching Tyler Algier, I think that might be a tiny bit of a downgrade because I've seen Tyler Algier be a very, very good running back. Uh, yeah, I'm not sold on Atlanta, so I guess we'll see how it goes. Trading their first round pick to the Rams last year to get James Pierce, who did some stuff off season that's kind of weird. That doesn't get my confidence up too much. But yeah. So Atlanta, week one, they'll be on the road to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I have them taking a W here. They're going to go on a long stretch here now that I don't think they're going to do really, really well. There's a couple games in here that you could definitely go, yeah, they could win that one. So that could definitely be the case, but this is what I have predicting. I think week two, they lose to Carolina at home. I think that they're going to lose to Green Bay on the road for sure. I do believe they get swept by New Orleans this year, so I'm going to have a New Orleans win on week four. Week five, they're at home to the Baltimore Ravens. I think Baltimore beats them. Week six, I don't think they can beat Chicago at home. Week seven, I don't think they can beat the 49ers at home. Week eight, this is definitely a winnable game, but I have them losing to Tampa in Tampa. Week nine, I think this is also a winnable game for them, but I have them losing to Cincinnati. And then week 10, I do expect Patrick Mahomes to be back, so this is where I think that they take a loss again. Week 12, I have them beating Minnesota on the road. I have them beating Detroit week 13 on the road or at home. I have them beating Cleveland on the road in week 14. Washington week 14. Or no, Washington week 15, sorry. Tampa week 16, they're going to get a W. Week 17, I have New Orleans beating them. And then week 18, they obviously are going to lose to Carolina, in my personal opinion. So, my actual prediction is 6-11. I do think that their ceiling is probably like a 9-win team. I think they could go 9 and 8. I think that their floor, they could be really, really rough. I could see them even winning only like 4 or 5 games. But for now, I'm going to take them as a team that wins at least 6 games. That's where I'm going to put them. Moving on to the other team in that little general vicinity, kind of. You know what? I don't even know what I'm yapping about. They're New Orleans Saints. Woo! Tyler Shuck ended up looking like the guy. He won some kind of Rookie of the Year, which made no sense because Tet was absolutely the Rookie of the Year. But what do I know? Yeah, we're. I don't know how I feel about New Orleans. I really don't. I think their defense could be a little bit better. I think their offense. Okay, if their offense is able to stay healthy with Tyson and Olave as your receivers, that could be a real problem. Their running back, Travis Achan. Sorry, I was trying to get that last name right. Which we already have an Achan in the league, so that's kind of weird. But hey, that's his name. You know, what do I say? Okay, week one, I have them losing to Detroit on the road. I have them losing to Baltimore in week two as well. Week three, I have them beating the Raiders. Week four, they're going to beat the Atlanta Falcons. Week five, I have them beating the Minnesota Vikings. Week six, I have them beating the New York Football Giants. Week seven in Paris, I don't know what it is, but I think that they're going on a little bit of a streak here. For some reason, I have Cleveland, or not Cleveland, Pittsburgh stopping that. Wow. And then week nine, they're going to come back from a bye. They're going to beat Cleveland at home. They're going to beat Carolina at home. They're going to lose to Chicago week 11. They're going to beat Cincinnati week 12. I have them losing to the Green Bay Packers in Week 13, losing to the Carolina Panthers Week 14, losing to Tampa in Week 15. But then I have them beating the Arizona Cardinals, the Atlanta Falcons, and Tampa Bay back to back to back to finish their season off 10-7. I like the Saints schedule a lot more. I think that they are one of those teams in the NFL that has the best potential to go from worst to first. Because, well, I mean, here's the key here, is that that division was just so close last year that it was kind of hard to even really tell. Uh, Obviously, I think Tampa got the steal of the draft, at like pick 15, I think it was, getting Reuben Bain Jr. I still, listen, I don't have a lot of faith in that coaching right now, so that's really the real reason that I think Tampa takes a little bit of a far downtrend this year, but I could definitely be crazy on that one. But I think, for me, I think that the ceiling for New Orleans, it's an 11 win team. I don't think that they could go much higher than 10 wins. I'm giving kind of my absolute top notch thinking of there. But I think their floor could even be like a 7-6 win team. I don't think they're like a crazy bad team whatsoever. Okay, so the last team we're going to talk about is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Uh, I've already kind of expressed I don't really know if I love their coaching. Baker Mayfield was an okay quarterback. You lost Mike Evans. I think that's a huge loss. I did mention that the draft they getting Reuben Bain, which I think was probably the steal of the first round. That was a crazy good pick. I'm not in love with Tampa. So we're gonna kind of see how I think this goes, but I don't have a lot of like real hopes for this one. Yeah, let's get back into it. Week 1, I have them losing to Cincinnati on the road. Week 2, I have them beating Cleveland at home. Week 3, I have them beating Minnesota at home. I have the NFC South sweeping Minnesota. I don't think that that's going to be the case. I'm going to make that very clear. I think that that's going to change, but that's just what I'm seeing off the top of my head. Week 4, I have them beating or losing to Green Bay. Week 5, they're going to lose on the road to Dallas. Week 6, I have them beating the Pittsburgh Steelers. Week 7, they're going to beat Carolina or lose to Carolina on the road. They will beat Atlanta at home in Week 8. Week 9, I have them losing to Chicago. Week 11, I have them losing to Detroit. Week 12, they'll beat Carolina at home. But week 13, they're going to lose to Los Angeles Chargers. Week 14, they'll lose to the Baltimore Ravens. Week 15, they'll beat the Saints at home. And then their last 3 games, I think they'll lose to the Atlanta Falcons, the Los Angeles Rams, and the New Orleans Saints, 6 and 11. Okay, so I think 6 and 11 is actually, so as tough as that is a rough schedule. I don't know if Cleveland is a team that gets swept. I don't know if Minnesota is a team that gets swept. I mean, Cincinnati could definitely be a win, possibly. Dallas, you could maybe sneak it out if that defense is just not any better. Obviously, any of the teams in your division, you never know how they're going to play or how Detroit's going to play. I don't see them beating the Ravens, Chargers, or Rams. I mean, especially if those teams are healthy, they definitely could. Like this is the NFL. You never know what's going to happen. So for me, I think that their ceiling, I think that that's a possible 10-win team. I do believe that there's some games that you could definitely throw up in the air here. I think that their floor, I think it's about as bad as it can get. I think that they could possibly just be like a 5 and 12 team, but I don't think Tampa takes that big of a fall, but they definitely could. Yeah, I just don't know how I feel about that whole situation. I don't think Tampa's a team that I really love, though. That's really where I'm at here. Um, yeah, I think so. Going based off my prediction for the NFC South, I think it will be the Saints at number 1, the Panthers at number 2, and I think I'll take Atlanta to squeak out the third spot, and then I'll take the Tampa Bay to 4. What a big fall they would take, but I definitely could see it happening. I'm not really in love with the coaching staff whatsoever, and that really, concerns me. But yeah, that being said, guys, if you like this video, what I would like you to do is leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. Tell me I said. You don't have to do that part. Please don't do that part. That hurts my feelings. But yeah, regardless, yeah, that's been me. If you did end up liking this content, we'll keep trying to churn them out. Pretty big storm coming tomorrow, so I might have to make another video just in case. Uh, yeah, regardless, I'll shut up. It's a dub. Thank you guys so much if you made it all the way to the end of the video. Again, leave a like, comment, subscribe. See you all.